Hello, dear students. I'm Shalaka Deshpande. Welcome to the 8th lecture on C programming. In this lecture, we are going to see the program to find the greatest among three numbers using if-else statement. Okay. We will also see the details about printf statement, scanf statement, and control statements. In detail, we are going to see that. So first, I'll share the file with you. Okay. So today's topic is control statements, printf and scanf functions. Okay. So what are control statements that we are going to see? Now, basically the C program without control statement executes sequentially. Now that it is optional. Control statements are optional. There's a possibility that control statement will be there, and there's also a possibility that control statement won't be there. But if a control statement is not there in your C program, then it executes sequentially, means instructions are executed one after another. In a C program, first instruction is executed, then second, then third, then fourth, and so on. Sequentially, they are executed. Okay, without control statement. If the C program is without control statement. Okay, so a C application begins executing with the first line of main function and proceeds statement by statement until it gets to end of main function. As we have discussed in the previous lecture, C program always begin with the main function. For the pause, C program always begin with the main function. Okay, so it always just starts with main function and ends when the function ends. The statements block of statement is within the main function. Okay, clear? Now a sequence of statements are grouped together to function as syntactically equivalent single statement by enclosing statement in braces. Now, after main function, the function, we have opening brace, and then we start writing our statements, and after our statements are over, we have closing brace. Okay. So this grouping is a statement block. So main function consists of statement block. Okay. We have discussed this also. I'm just revising it again. Okay. The order in which statements are executed in running program is called a flow of control. Now, what is a flow of control? There are various statements in the program. So how those statements are executed? When they are executed in a running program, that is flow. That is a flow of control. There is a possibility that it will be executed sequentially. There is a possibility that after execution of second statement, the program will directly jump to fifth statement. Okay, so the control statement determines flow of your program. Okay, depending on the requirement of problem, it might be required to alter normal sequence of execution in C program. Okay, so if the problem statement or any particular problem demands that the flow of control should be changed. So according to the problem statement, we have to change the flow of control. Okay, for simple programs, we have sequential, but if the complexity is more, if the conditions are involved, then we have to change the flow of control. Okay. Now, statements which divert this sequential execution are control statements. So here comes the role of control statement. In few cases, possibility that we have to skip some statements. Okay, so control statement come into picture in case of such type of applications. Okay, so control statements divert that sequential execution. Okay, clear? So control statement embody design logic that tells program what action to carry out next depending on the values of certain variables. So what does the control statement do? Okay, depending on the situation, it tells program whether the statement block of statement one should be, suppose there are two blocks. which consist of series of statements, block number 1 and block number 2. Okay, and both the statements are in single program. Okay, so control statements will tell your program which block to execute according to condition, whether block 1 or block 2 has to be executed. Okay, clear? So examples of control statements are selection, iteration, jump statement that direct the program flow. So what are the examples of control statement? First is a selection statement. Second, selection statements means we have to select between 2 or 3 paths. Then iterations means if you want to do a particular operation again and again. Then jump statements means skip a particular part of code and directly jump to this part of code. So these are examples of control statements. In this lecture, we are going to study about the selection control statement, if statement. Okay. The selection statements in C are if statement, if else statement, and switch statement. So these are the examples of selection control statements in C: if statement, if else statement, and switch statement. Now, choosing a part depends on test expression that evaluates to either true or false. Now, every if statement is having a parenthesis. Inside that parenthesis, there is a test expression or any condition, we can say. And if that condition is true, or if that expression is true, we get inside that if statement and we execute the blocks which are inside that if statement. But if our test expression or condition is false, we skip that part and we execute the code which is after the if. Okay, which is not there inside if. Okay, now let's see, when we will see the code, you will understand it better. Now, output function printf. The printf function allows user to output data of different data types on console or output screen. What does the printf function do? First of all, be clear, this printf function is the output function. Okay, this is the output function. Why? Because there are we want to display various types of data on our computer screen or output screen. Okay, or a console, we want to display particular data, or we want to display the results of particular computation on the computer screen. So how will you do that? Printf statement. With the help of printf statement, you display the results of your computation on the screen of your computer. In C programming, this is very important. Okay. Now, printf function consists of control strings with format specifier like %C for single character, D for single integer, F for signed integer with decimal point. Now, what does the printf statement consist of? It consists of control string. Control string has some data. String that is nothing but a collection of alphabets along with the format specifier like %C. Okay. %C is a single character. We are using %C if you want to display character on our console. Then %D, single signed integer. If you want to display integer numbers on your screen, then %F, signed integer with decimal point. Okay, clear? So these are various format specifiers. Okay. So if you want to display a particular decimal integer with a decimal point, you have to use %F, float. Okay. So control string in printf can also exist without format specifier. That is not a compulsion that your string must have format specifier. Which program you are doing, it depends on that. If you just want to do a simple program of hello world, there is no need of a format specifier inside your control string. Okay, now why we are using these format specifiers like %D, %F, and %C or other format specifier in our printf statement? Because it tells your system to display a particular integer. If you want to display integer, okay, on your screen, then you have to use %D as your format specifier. If you want to display character, then you want to use a %C. It tells which data type you of a variable that you want to display on your console. Okay. Now, here it also consists of control code within double quotation marks, that is backslash and backslash T. What is this control code? Backslash and backslash T. So before closing the double quotes, we want to go to new line. I want next statement to begin from the new line. So I will use \n, new line character. But if I want between two sentences, I want a space, then I will use \t, that is tab. Okay, clear? Percentage D is known as a format specifier. As I already told, percentage C, percentage D, percentage F, these are the format specifiers. It indicates data type of variable to be printed, that is value to be printed is a standard integer value that is stored in a standard int variable. What does it indicate? Percentage D indicates that value which a printf function will print on the screen is an integer value, okay, which is stored in the value of a data type int, which is stored in the variable of data type int, okay. Similarly, percentage C prints a single character on the screen, okay, clear? So here we have example, total equal to percentage D \n comma total. Now suppose I have done the addition of two numbers, 4 plus 4, which is 8. So total is 8. So 8 is an integer. So that's why total equal to percentage D \n comma total. This total and percentage D, they are linked. Whatever is inside the total variable, that will be printed. Okay, clear in this case? Fine. So this was about the printf. Now input function scanf. Now there's one more function in the C programming, scanf function. Okay. Now here the scanf function allows user to input data in the specified format. It can accept different data types. Now suppose it is exactly opposite of printf function. If you don't want to display any data on the screen, but you want to take input from user, before doing any computation, mathematical or any other computation, you will require some inputs from user. Numbers, say, if I want to do multiplication of two numbers or three numbers, I'll require some numbers or inputs from user. So to take input from user, we have scanf statement, okay? And it can accept data of various data types, different types. So scanf function consists of format string consisting of list of format specifier indicating format and type of data to be read from the standard input device, which is keyboard. What does that mean? What does it consist of? Inside double quote, we are having a list of format specifiers. Just now I told format specifiers are percentage D, percentage C, and percentage F. These are a format specifier. So list of those format specifier is inside the double quotes, which is inside the scanf statement. Okay. So which type of data we want to take input from user? Do I want to take alphabet? Which type of data I want to give input to my program? Do I want to give alphabet? Do I want to give integer? Do I want to give decimal point? Which type of data? So list of format, according to the list of format specifier which we are using inside our scanf statement, we have to give the inputs to a program. Okay, clear? And how we are giving the inputs? With the help of input device keyboard. Okay. This list is followed by address of variables. Now this double quotation marks is followed by address of variables. You can see in this example, ampersand A, ampersand B. Suppose there might be any, you can take other names also. If you have declared, it's not compulsory, you have to take this only. Depends on which program you are doing. So scanf, percentage D, ampersand A, ampersand B. Means what? If I give input 4, first input is 4, it will be stored at location address of A. Ampersand A means address of A, address of operator. The variable A, at an instant when it is declared, it is assigned a memory location, and each memory location is having address which is in hexadecimal format. So ampersand A means what? Address of a variable A, and in that address my input variable will be stored. Similar story is with B, ampersand B. So here in this case, I have to input two parameters or two integers, because percentage D means two integers. If I write percentage D, percentage C means one integer, one character. Are you getting? Clear? So ampersand act as an address operator by passing memory address where these values are stored in the function is able to write new values into memory. Okay, if you want to store a particular values inside memory, then you have to use address of operator or ampersand operator. Both printf and scanf require header file stdio.h to be included in the program where they may be used. Now, header files are there in C program. Hash include stdio.h. So if you don't include that stdio.h inside your program, you won't be able to use the functions printf and scanf. Okay, because see, the code for the functions printf and scanf is inside the library function stdio.h. So it is very important to use stdio.h header inside your C program if you want to use a printf and scanf functions. Now here's an example of C program to find greatest among three numbers. Here you can see first it consists of header files, then the function main, then there are three variables which are declared, then enter three numbers, printf statement. This enter three numbers will be displayed on your output screen because we are using output function printf. Then scanf is there. When it will be displayed on your screen, obviously you will enter, give inputs, three numbers you will give inputs to the program. So percentage %d, percentage %d, percentage %d. Three numbers should be integers. You should give integers as your input. Ampersand n1, ampersand n2, and ampersand n3. I have already told you what does that mean, address of operator. Now, if a condition is there, now you see here, there are three printf statements. Printf, n1 is greater, n2 is greater, n3 is greater. If condition 1, which is n1 greater than n2, ampersand ampersand, which is like multiplication operator, means both the condition has to be true. Okay, then only the statements which are inside this if block will be executed. Percentage %d is greater backslash and n1. If this is true, condition is true, it will get inside the if statement and it will execute the printf, that is n1 is greater. If it is false, it will check next condition else if. It will skip that statement if the statement is false. Okay, it will check second if else if statement. N2 greater than N3, ampersand ampersand, N2 greater than N1. Now, if this is true, second statement will be executed, otherwise not. Similarly for third, and return 0 is the exit status. Exit is used to exit from the main function. Okay, clear? Every function must return a value. So to exit from the main function, int main, it should return some value. So return 0. So I'll just run this code on dev C++ IDE. I just copy paste it. I hope you can see this. Okay. Now here you can see I'll create one new file. The new file is created. I'll just paste this code. Okay. I'll save this code. I'll save it as 3. Okay. And here it is very important that I select here C source file. Okay. Because program is in C. Okay. So C source file is being selected. And I'll just save this. Okay. Now after creating this, here you can see 4 blocks are there. One square is there, inside that there are 4 blocks. Red, green, blue, yellow. Here where mouse pointer is pointing. This is for compile. Okay, first we'll compile our code. It is compiling. You can see it is done. 0 errors and 0 warnings. Close it. After compilation, next step is run and execute. So again, one more square is there after the second one. Here the spaces between the 4 blocks is not there. So I'll run and execute it. I'll just press here, click here. You can see the prompt has come. So I will enter 3 numbers, 4, 6, 7. Now enter. 7 is greater. So it is giving me the output 7 is greater. Okay, I hope you can see it. So in this way, wait, let me zoom it. No, it's not getting it. Okay, so 7 is greater. So you're getting the output of this code. So that's all about today's lecture. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concepts which I have explained you today. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.